I'm Rina.
The Business Lab.
Hey guys, welcome to the Dairy Voices, a segment of the SMCCI, the Business Lab. Before we start today, we just want to say thank you to all of our amazing sponsors, Craft by Tree for the venue, and our media sponsors, StudioFive Corp. I'm Anis, and today we have Rina here with me.
Hi again, guys. And of course, today we have very special guest. We have Mdm Fadilah. Hi, Madam. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. After
Okay.
looking at you both,
Thank you.
definitely I'm better. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anis. Thank you, Rina. I'm glad to be here at Dairy Voices, the Business Lab. I think we have been actually dreaming of this for so
Yes.
long. At last, we are here. Okay, and thank you for inviting me today. I'm Fadilah Abdul Majid.
Before we start, right, this is actually a backstory. I think Madam pun tak tahu, but I've actually known you since you were in Berita Harian days.
Really?
When I was working with Mr. Suhaimi Saleh, actually.
Ah,
So all of the financial events that you did,
the Financial Planning Conference?
yes, I was held at SP and also Raffles Convention, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
okay.
So I've met you, and I've always looked up to you since then because you have this commanding figure, like this lady, and then she has such a controlling, commanding figure. You know that okay, one day I want to be like her.
Oh, thank you.
And when I, of course, joined SMCCI and then get to work together with you, again, that effect is still there. Yeah, although it's not so easy working with her sometimes, but
Okay, so just a bit of introduction. Madam Fadilah, you are a Vice President of SMCCI, currently running for your third term, right? Would you want to introduce yourself a little bit on what you're currently doing, what businesses you are holding, and what positions you're holding?
I'm the Vice President of Malay Chamber of Commerce. Yes, you're right. This is my last term. So I better do something to have an impact on my last term in SMCCI. Of course, I've been chairing Devi, which is Women's Wing, and Rina and Anis is also with us. I'm glad they are here with us. Devi is actually focusing more on women activities. So we have done a lot of things. On business aspect, I'm running Spa Jelita, and also recently an added portfolio, unfortunately, is Hamida's Kitchen. So you imagine the tremendous pressure and stress on me, but I do really enjoy.
There's a lot of hat you're wearing. You're juggling multiple hats as a business owner, not just one. You're juggling two businesses, and I also see here that you started your career as a business journalist. How do you go from business journalist to the
Running a
entrepreneurship?
spa.
To the wellness.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't choose to be a journalist too. It was something I can consider as a last choice, but I will not regret that because I graduated with economics degree and I wanted to be in economics development board. I wanted to look deeper into the economic aspect of Singapore. So that's why I took economics. But I was actually approached by my dear boss. I think you know, Zairul Abdul Rashid. So he actually said that, Fadilah, we are setting up a business desk and we need you there. So immediately after graduation, I even gotten my results actually. So I said, okay, I'll go for the interview. But I told him that I got A for Malay in my university, pre-university, but I didn't do Malay in university,
Right.
so I did economics. So you may have problem with some of my Malay language because Berita Harian is writing in Malay. So he said, no problem, you can try. So I actually went for the interview with five of my friends, and I was the only one chosen to do an intern actually at Berita Harian. So it wasn't offered a full-time job yet. But when Mrs. Zainul saw my write-up, then Mrs. Zainul called me and said that, Fadilah, we want to offer you a job as a journalist. So you imagine, I said, I don't even know what is this journalist. New world to me, you know. So I said, okay, let's try. So I went there. It was 3 months of torture.
wow.
Because my boss was really very tough. Not Zainul, I have another boss who very tough. But I tell you, it's from him. When you have a tough boss, it is from this person that you will learn a lot. because you learn to be tough, you learn to be able to take challenges, So he has inculcated a lot of good values in me. So I was there for 3 months and crying because I cannot write in Malay. So I write literally, and you imagine having to translate economic terms in Malay.
Right. How do you
Economies
cope
of
with that?
scale lah, whatever, demand, supply. So I was crying
Right.
looking at the books,
Dictionary,
the dictionary. So every time dictionary, until people write for 1 hour, I write for 3 hours. Just a column of 3 pages. But I was very confident that I can do it. And of course, with the motivation from all the bosses there. So I managed. And from journalist, I actually became business editor. So I think about more than 15 years, I was business editor when they set up a business unit. When I came in, I was just a normal journalist. So I worked hard. I became a supervisor, and my final destination was business editor of this Econiaga unit.
Okay.
So I was there. It was very interesting experience. You can never get anywhere else, and I never regret being a journalist. But then come to entrepreneurship, right? So that's where you're eager to know how a journalist became, or how a business editor became an entrepreneur.
Your breath just next to my soul. I wanna feel oppressed without any rest. I wanna see you sing, I wanna see you fight, 'cause you are the real beauty of human rights.
So
Correct. Because
it
you've
was
been doing
also,
journalism for 27 years. It's not like
Yes.
2 years or
Yeah.
7 years. 27.
and I love to see my writings and my names on the paper.
I'm sure.
People come, very nice, your write up. So I ever write about how a husband should behave towards a wife. I mean, how a husband should actually help the wife.
Oh.
Because my husband go to the market. My husband pergi market, pergi pasar, pergi beli barang. I was driving.
Please
I was,
share that article with us.
yeah, so I duduk dekat kereta, baca buku. A lot of things that I do in Facebook kan ada kan.
Right,
So
right.
then he will just carry his thing. And then bila dia datang aja, I put action lah. Buka pintu kan. Dia buka itu, action nak angkat lah. Put at the back, So I saw that, and I think it's a daily life, so you got to write it. And so that people can learn.
Right.
So I wrote an article saying that men should actually change their attitude towards a household. Your role as a husband is just not going out to work. You have to help your wife. So I wrote that article. So I love the article. I still have it. I still
Okay.
read it. So I love writing, but unfortunately everything comes to an end with Allah's wills. So I didn't even expect that I will be out of Berita Harian. So Berita Harian went through a very difficult time. So we are at the top. We will be the first one to be X because our salary is quite high, So we were given a choice. A few of the editors given a choice to take the money and go, or to stay but not doing what you have been doing. That means I will just remain there as a normal editor, not editor actually, just as normal senior writer. So it's a very difficult decision, very, very tough for me to decide. But I think Allah has decided. So I decided to just take the money and go and maybe do something else. So that is where my first entrepreneurship journey. I set up this media publishing. So that is where, when we left, so 3 of us get together. We came up with this name, Biz Media Publication, and we sit down and we say, that is where our skills are, you know. I mean, because when you want to start a business, you need to look at yourself. What are the skills that you have that other people don't have? And then if you have it, if anything, you can do it. So that is what I learned actually over 27 years. Writing business stories, interviewing business people, you know, from all over. I mean, I don't just interview Malay business people. I also interview non-Malay. So there's a lot of skills and knowledge from there. So we set up this media. So I was very tired one day. So I went past Spa Jelita. My husband said, "Why don't you go and rest? Go and take massage at Spa Jelita." I said, "Wow, good idea." So I said, I call them. So they said they have slots. So he sent me there. So I went there and I signed a package because the place is so lovely. You know, I wanted to go for the past few years. I cannot because they're always fully booked. So I said, okay. So I signed a package. So I came again.
You sign up with the whole spa now.
Yeah, that was the second one. So when I came the second time to do, because they have hair, massage and also facial. So it's a package, all 3 in 1. So I came back. So that is where I went. I met the boss. So the boss, you know, being a journalist, I couldn't stop talking. So I was there talking to him about my journey in Berita Harian and what I'm doing, you know, doing this media, blah 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 blah. So he listened.
It was a him.
It's a him.
Oh.
So I was asking him, this is a Muslimah spa. How can a man is there?
Yeah,
Because I won't be comfortable and some other customers also won't be comfortable, right?
Okay.
So he said, well, he has no choice. Say, okay lah. So the few days later, he called me. He said, "Madam, we want to sell Spa Jelita to you. We think you are the right person." I was like, huh? I just signed up a package. Are you going to close down? Give me my money back.
Yeah, that would be a
I mean,
concern.
it's suppose I'm not taking the spa, right? So my money is there, so you're going to close. You know, I just signed. I said, no, he said, no, we are trying to sell off the business because they are opening one in Jakarta.
Right.
It's in Jogja. So they open a hotel with a spa. So I said, okay. So that means the spa is not doing badly, right? Let me consider. So it took me 1 month, you know. It's not easy because I think being journalist, writing stories about business, interviewing people are totally different from running your own business, you know. So, but I believe because of that, I'm brave enough to join the business world as an entrepreneur. So it took me 1 month. My husband said no. My mother said no. My sister said no. I say yes.
But that's a huge opportunity
Yeah.
just like landed on your lap, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's like something people ask what
It's
you want to
either
eat.
it's a burden or it's a risk or what, I don't know. But
Yeah.
to me, I see it as an opportunity lah.
Right.
I didn't just take it up because I feel that at that time, actually, SMCCI is offering me a job as editor, which Nadia is doing now. They're offering me that job. So it was between the two. Do I take up as executive director of SMCCI or I buy over Spa Jelita? So that was, my husband was saying take up as ED. I'm saying no, I want to become a business entrepreneur. So I couldn't make the decision. So I know you are jumping into something which is different. So you don't take a risk. Because I learned from a lot of business people, you can take risks, but it has to be a calculated risk.
Of course,
What is calculated risk? Calculated risk is you do your own background checking. You know, you check what is this in for you, what are the risks, or what are you well prepared to actually take over. So I went to Jakarta, to Jogja. I met the owner of Spa Jelita. The real owner of Spa Jelita is Mr. Khalid. I met there. And I came actually with SMCCI because they were opening the hotel and they called SMCCI people. They called Dr. Yaakob Ibrahim to actually launch. So I met the boss. So he was giving me a very good overview and he said, I'm the right person. I had got the network, things like that, you know. So I came back. I said no to SMCCI. I said, no, I'm not taking up SED. I'm going to be a businesswoman. So I decided to buy over Spa Jelita. That was in 2014.
Okay, so your relationship with SMCCI also goes way back, even before you were.
Yeah, it's actually about like love and hate relationship with SMCCI. I got scolded by them also because I always write stories about them, criticizing them, you know. I mean,
Okay.
of course, like love them. I do a lot of stories on them. I actually was a business editor. So
Right.
SMCI is very close to me, and SMCI is the only Malay Chamber of Commerce
Right.
that people respect. You know, I mean, no matter what you say, there are many other organizations that come,
Right.
but SMCI is still standing strong until today. So I
Alhamdulillah.
believe it is a very good avenue for business people to be together, and we cannot look down as SMCCI because if you think you don't want them to be there, then who else is going to take care of Malay Chamber?
Of
I mean, the
course,
business
the
people.
business people.
You know, so when I was in Berita Harian, I always feel that there's a lot more things that they can do. So that is where I fall in love with SMCCI, trying to help them, you know, but also criticize them through my articles, you know.
Right.
I wrote about them. I say, hey, you should be doing this. But I also criticize the entrepreneurs who say, hey, well, you want to be guided, you want to enjoy your membership, you cannot wait inside your house and get SMCI people to knock on your door. Hey, come, you are a
handouts.
membership, you are a member, come and join our network.
Right,
Cannot.
right.
So as a business entrepreneur, you have to take the first step. So I was writing a lot about this, you know. So that is my relationship with SMCCI. That's why when I actually chose to be entrepreneur, the first thing that I do, I join SMCCI as a member. You have to be a member of
course.
the chamber.
Yep.
And Cik Zahidi actually approached me. That time was Cik Akbar and Cik Zahidi. So they approached me. They said that Kak Jun also at that time. Kak Jun was the Dewi.
Junaidah Tarjo, right?
Junaidah Tarjo was the Dewi chairman, the
Right.
women's wing. So they approached me. They said, Dila, why don't you become director in Malay Chamber of Commerce? So I said, well, that's another exciting things, you know. So I said, okay, everything okay.
I think the most important thing for anybody who wants to venture and go out and do their own business is to understand that there is no substitute to hard work. Hard work comes first. Everything else comes second. You know, because we do know that people view business owners as kurang boss. You know, you guys are bosses. You guys drive nice cars and you guys stay in nice places. Yeah, but you don't understand the struggles to get there. I personally tell myself this: do or do not. There's no try. Courtesy of Yoda.
But I'm so intrigued. Like earlier, you were saying you went from 27 years of business journalism, and then you decided to, like, in 1 month you decided to change a whole 180 to go into entrepreneurship, right? That's a big jump. How do you justify that to your families and to yourself for
Yeah,
a
'cause-
shift from a stable career where you get paid, a handsome sum every month, right, to handling a business that you might not get paid for at least the first few months? What
But I'm lucky, I got paid.
what are some of the challenges that you actually face during this transition?
Okay, actually, when you take over a business, it's different when you are starting a business, because when you start a business, you know what to do. You know, you learn from a lot of things. But I'm taking over someone's business, so when they sell to you, they will not tell you the problems that you will face. You know,
Right, right.
so they will just be saying the good things. So when I came in, it was really like
So what were the
shocking.
problems that you faced?
So when I bought over Spa Jelita, I know they have very good base. They have customer and their place is very lovely, it's very nice. So because of that, I bought it. It's a unique, because in every business, what I learned from, you need USP, unique selling
Selling
factor.
point, yeah.
USP. Correct?
Unique
Unique selling point.
Yeah, unique selling point. So you need that. So I think Spa Jelita has it, because there's so many spas around. You know, I mean, there's many at the blocks, under the blocks or whatever. So where do you stand? So I think it can stand on its own, because it's the only Arabian spa, and then they spend so much on it. The ambience was very good. So I thought I can do it. So I took But the first 3 months was a hell.
Why?
Because when I was going through it, I didn't know that Spa Jelita has got insurance.
Okay.
So they actually paid to the bank. They have to cover insurance to get a case trust category 1.
Okay.
So then Case Trust called me. In the midst of it, it's about maybe 2 months into the business. Case Trust called me and said that you have to stop, madam. You have to stop your business. I said, why? Well, macam naik, kena pingsan sekejap.
That
I
must
said,
be
"Huh?"
quite shocked.
Yeah, it was. I said, why? So they said, you have an insurance which is not fulfilled. And a lot of your customers are not actually covered.
You're referring to like the licensing or?
Okay, for spa, that's why whenever you want to go to a spa, you need to do your study first, which
Right.
I don't. So this spa is a category 1 spa, and you have to be a Case Trust accredited, and of course you need a licensing from police. So
Okay.
that police licensing
Police.
is not a problem.
Yeah, okay.
But the Case Trust, you have to cover customers' insurance. That means customer buy a package from you, right? So you need to cover them. So you need an insurance. So there is a special insurance for this lah. So I guess they were going through a difficult time at that time. So maybe I don't blame them. So they actually didn't cover the insurance for many of the customers over a few months. So it's not possible because that means they breached the trust. They breached the contract to say that you must cover all the customers. So I was asked to actually stop the business. So journalism actually came into play because I know so many people, and then I learned how to talk, how to convince people. So I actually talked to the staff. I said, we cannot do it. If you want, you pay our rental. I cannot close because if I close, that means I'm going to pay my staff. I cannot pay rental.
Right.
That's it for me. So I don't think that is the right choice lah to do it. So they said cannot. You still have to stop. You cannot sell packages. Blah 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 blah. So I was actually quite stressed lah that time. So I decided to meet the chairman of the Case Trust. So I said, never mind. Let me talk to your boss. So I talked to the boss. I explained. I said, I just took over. I will definitely settle this matter. Give me 1 month or even like 2 months. I can still run. Let me run. Because if I don't run, then you will be responsible for the failure, and I cannot pay all the customers that bought
Right.
my spa, right? So I said, it's definitely not a good decision. So it was very stressful for 1 or 2 weeks. So, but they actually agreed. So, I mean, after all the sweet talks, so they agreed. They said, okay, you will run your business, but you have to cover those that you have not covered. So you imagine 2 months of struggle for us. I get all the stuff to go down and stay late, get all the files, check all those that have not been covered. So we do all the damage control.
Right.
Then we managed to settle the problem in the 3rd month. And after that, it was all history lah. I think we were running it quite well lah. We are already about 17 years in the market.
That's good. So from what I see here, your experience as a journalist and also I think your networking over the years really helped you a lot when you enter into the spa business. And I think that's one of your forte because I see you as someone who can easily convince people. That's what I think.
And get people to work for me.
and you manage to always
I'm a bit
get
bossy
things done.
lah because I'm the boss.
Yeah. So other than this, right, what would you say would be maybe the 3 things that you hope you had known before actually jumping into the business itself?
Okay, actually I have no regrets lah. I think what I've learned because I've interviewed so many successful
Right.
people and they have failed also in their business. The first thing that they tell me, you must be there to fail. Because if you do not want to take the risk, then business is not your forte for everyone. Because business, there is a risk. Either you succeed or you fail.
Right.
But the point is, you must only move when you have already take the calculated risk lah. Meaning that before you jump into something, you do your own survey. You know how far you can go. What are the financial stability that you need? If it happened you can only get back your profit within 1 year. So you must have enough cash flow, things like that. So to me, all this comes handy because from the interviews, I learned a lot of things. And my husband is also a business man. I learned a lot from him. And then my father, my arwah father lah. My arwah father was the first one to set up travel agent. It's called StudioFive Travel. So he was the pioneer in the industry. By that time I was still studying lah, so I was not helping my father, degil, tak tolong. So I never learned any business from him, but I know he's a man of integrity and he worked very hard. You know, he has a few business and he has logistic business also, usaha logistics. But finally, he just chose this business which is called StudioFive Travel for 25 years. So I learned from him the hard work, you know, that you have to put in to be in business, the sacrifices that you need to make, because when you jump into business, you must know your ability and you must know your threshold. How much can you take? How much difficulty can you go through? You know, what are the challenges that you can take? So all this, you really have to have this lah. But as I said, it will come naturally.
Right.
When you're in business, you cannot expect everything to be smooth lah. There's nothing smooth, because when I took over, it was all good. So it was all up and up and up. Then it was COVID. You know, so we were down. So, but we were lucky. Actually, we are among the luckiest one, because when people do during COVID kan, kebanyakan orang macam don't make money, they lose money, but we did very well, pretty well. You know why?
Yeah.
Because people cannot travel. And women are always stressed when they cannot travel, right?
They go to
cannot
the
even go
Arabian spa to
they cannot go to
experience
Johor
it.
lah.
Yes.
Tak boleh pergi Batam, tak boleh pergi Johor. So mana nak pergi? Kalau duduk rumah tengok muka husband, nak masak, nak makan, nak teh, nak tu, nak ni, anak pula macam-macam gaduh. So it's very very stressful environment. I mean, I myself go through it. So of course my husband can cook, so I don't have problem. So but exactly, it's a stress that is causing a lot of women to actually get out. So where do they go? So they go to spa. So we were doing a lot of promotions then. So we did pretty well during COVID.
I have a question. So you mentioned you took over Spa Jelita, which I assume back then it already has a name. And then you took over. Have you ever imagined what if you taking over caused it to fail?
If I were to fail.
Yeah. What would you?
I've already
have
have my plans, because I believe in not using people's money, because then you won't be so stressed, because
Right.
I know there are many people who actually borrow money from friends, you know, to do business, and at the end it becomes their enemy, you know, because they cannot pay, because business is all about risk.
Right.
So it's better to use your own money. If you fail, nobody's going to find you. So I use my own money. So even if I fail, I'm ready, because I say, okay, this is how much I can take. This is my investment. This is my cash flow. So if I fail, then that's it. Nobody's going to run after me, you know. But of course, in spa business, it's quite difficult, because I only realized after a few months lah. Because it's okay for a spa to close when they actually selling all these a la carte. But my spa is selling packages.
Right.
So you carry burdens with you.
Yeah, it feels so unethical, right? Whenever businesses close, when they still have packages that they
balance,
owe their customers.
Yeah, so that's why we have insurance. So insurance means that if we close, we will have
get
to
their
pay all
money
of
back.
them.
Okay.
We will have to pay all of them. So that means you need a lot of money, you know, to actually set aside to pay them.
So I guess that's where, as Muslim, I guess we have the responsibility to actually make sure we follow through our amanah, right?
Right.
So would you say that, can you share any experiences or challenges you face as a Muslim woman in the business world, and how did you overcome them? I would say, do you have any examples, like any like you being a Muslim woman would have made your journey a little bit more harder than people who are not Muslims?
Or would it be easier because faith?
It will be easier. There you are. Okay. I mean, I don't know the experience of other women. I mean, they may face it, but I think you can see that problems only in corporate world, where professionals, you know, I mean, between men and women, there can be biasness, but I don't see that coming in entrepreneurship, because we are also doing business. Men and women are the same. You know, you face the same challenges, you face the same problems. So it's a matter of how you bring up yourself, how confident are you to talk to your suppliers, your customers, you know. To me, I don't see any biasness. So I don't see that being man and woman entrepreneur there's a problem. I don't face it. I don't face it. In fact, as you said, sometimes it's an advantage. Yeah, so
I guess
it's easier for you to get things done. I mean, not in
a shift of
like-
perspective, right? It's just how you want to
Yeah.
look at it. Whether you want to look at it in a positive way or you want to look at it as you being a Muslim woman is a disadvantage. I guess it's just how you choose to see your challenges. As,
I think when I was in Berita Harian, I was a journalist, right? So I have to go out and do. I got to cover ministers' press conferences. So at that time, I wasn't wearing my scarf. Being a Muslim woman, I'm the only one who degil, never use scarf. So my husband was telling me, pakai scarf. Dah umur berapa tak nak pakai scarf? So to me, like, okay, wait. Because I feel like if I go for a press conference, I feel that there'll be biasness, against women wearing scarf.
Okay.
Be there as a journalist. So, but then I realized that it was just your perception.
Right.
It's how you carry yourself. Everywhere is how you carry yourself. You must have that confidence that you cannot put yourself down, just because you're wearing scarf, just being a
Or
Muslim
not,
woman.
yeah.
So being a Muslim woman has advantages also. So when I went, when I put my first scarf, so it was really hectic for me lah. Macam it's a new environment, so I
Right.
pergi like, alamak, everybody. Padahal orang tak tengok kita tau. Kita
Yeah.
rasa orang tengok kita kan.
Self-conscious,
Kita rasa,
self-conscious.
semua tengok aku aku pakai scarf aku seorang that kind of thing. So but actually no. So the first experience when I went there, but you just make yourself, you must make yourself visible wherever you are. So that's why in Bali Chamber of Commerce, being a woman, and in Bali Chamber, all surrounded by men.
Yeah.
We are only few women.
Correct.
So should we just be the other side? No.
No.
I don't believe in that. Sorry, I don't believe in that. To me, it is what you are. It's what you can contribute. It doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a man. So when I went for the first conference, you ask questions. Then you become visible. Suddenly, minister said, "Hi, Fadilah. Do you have any questions?"
I need some of that confidence. I will just try to hide into the wallpaper.
Yeah. So every first conference, I'll be the
person
sitting in
to say
front.
things.
Because I want to overcome that fear.
Right.
Because if you're sitting at the back, you carry yourself this
Yeah, I agree.
no self-confidence, So everywhere you see, I go everywhere, I will see in front. That will build your confidence.
So perhaps you are a wife, a mother, a daughter, a grandmother.
No,
What's the one thing that you want to advise to all the womenpreneurs or yet aspiring womenpreneurs out there? Just one thing.
I must say that there is no difference between men and women in the way we are treated. Okay? Fine. I don't know whether other women are facing that. But there is a lot of difference between woman and male entrepreneur in terms of our responsibility. Because the success of a woman is actually measured by the success of your home. Because
Right.
you can have a lot of things, but your home is really in a mess. To me, I don't measure that as success.
Right.
My success will actually be determined if what happened to my children, my family, So for a woman, that is different. Men can just go out, entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
I have meeting in the morning, so they just go.
Home late.
Tak kisahlah
Yeah.
masak tak masak apa ke, they will just go. Tapi kita woman, if you don't take care of the family, mesti nak masak dulu.
Yeah.
Mesti nak tengok, nak
Kids
explain to
eaten
the
or not,
kids.
and then-
I mean, I went through the same thing. I have children. So my children, when I was in Berita Harian, but I'm very lucky, considered lucky entrepreneur. Because I joined entrepreneurship at the age of 50. My children are all graduated already. They are not married yet at the time, but they all graduated because when I was in Berita Harian, I was exposed to so many things. So the key things that I think as a woman, I think you need to know that your responsibility is your children. You need to inculcate good values in them. You need to go send them to university.
Right.
So like dekat Berita Harian kan, every day
right.
write that story, every day expose. So to me, the success of a woman is where you actually develop a good home, and of course it will be leading to a good business. And not easy because I was there. I mean, I've gone through it. I can see how difficult it is for women.
Yes.
Because men tend to actually campak all to women. I ada meeting I balik lambat lah, but we all like, okay. We have to do this, we have to do that. But But you have to know that is your responsibility. You
Yes,
know,
understand.
you want to,
I guess maybe it's just probably a different generation thing. I
can
would like
share.
to beg to differ. I will
Yeah.
beg to differ. I guess maybe born in the 90s, the
Yes,
90s.
right.
I have more expectations of marrying men, marrying men who can meet me there, because
middle,
I knew
okay.
I always knew that I always wanted to do my own thing. So I need a man who can also do the household chores. He can take care of the kids. He can cook, and doesn't expect me
My
to do
husband can cook.
everything. Yeah, doesn't expect me to do everything.
That's why
so.
she's very lucky.
Yeah, so I would say
very lucky housewife.
the homemaking thing is
Yeah.
both of us put in our 100%, definitely. So I'm lucky definitely to meet a man like that. So I guess as
But-
generation passes, I
But
guess
I think you're right, because I think that is our time that we have to do everything. But of course, my husband is different. My husband go to the market. My husband go, but not all men are like that.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
true,
So we're very
definitely.
But today, I can see what you see.
Yeah.
I mean, what you have gone through is all about equality.
Yes,
you
I've
know,
seen,
you
a
don't
lot of-
torture me anymore. Okay, you better go to the market.
Yeah, I've seen my guys
men
friends.
are changing also.
Yes,
They are
definitely.
willing. They love their wife more lah.
Yeah, they're more willing to show their love compared to our
Yeah.
father generation, where
Yes,
they only
like-
go to work and everything.
Yeah, that's
But
why. That's true.
There's some really amazing insight
I
from
have
you.
seen that in my son-in-law. When my son-in-law came back from work, I tell you, I was very shocked also, because I don't experience that. I go back from work, I have to take care of the children. My husband don't, you know. But then my own son-in-law came back from work, and then ambil anak, mandikan, and then kasi makan, all that kind of thing. So I see, wow, so
Yeah.
good. But that is the reality now.
Yes,
So
yeah.
today's woman jangan main-main.
I
eh.
think my mom was also quite shocked. with it,
Jangan
yeah.
main-main macam
But
Anis.
It's definitely a very good insight.
But it's good, yeah,
Two
it's
different
good.
generations that we're
Yeah,
sharing.
we learn a lot.
What we expect from a partner. So
Which means you can become a more successful entrepreneur. Because
Inshallah,
your husband
Amin,
is always with
Amin.
you,
Yeah,
right?
inshallah,
Supporting you.
So-
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you so much, Madam Dila. I think you have shared quite a lot for us and for all the listeners and viewers out there. So thank you so much for your time. I know you're very, very busy, always on the phone. So the first time today I see you without the phone. Okay. So thank you once again. And Anis, shall we thank our sponsors as well?
yeah. So before we wrap up, we just want to thank all of our amazing sponsors. We have Craft by Tree for our venue sponsor, and also StudioFive Corp for our media sponsor.
Yes. Okay, last but not least, thank you so much to our listeners and viewers for tuning in to Dewi Voices, a segment of SMCCI, the Business Lab.
Till the next one.
Bye.